Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. I think the real reason, as he mentioned, that Michael asked me to come talk today is because Gallup, at the end of the day, is a research-based consulting firm. So we've got a lot of different areas that we are studying, and one of them that we've gotten real interested in recently is the idea of job creation and how it ties to entrepreneurship. So I'd just like to make, I guess, 4 points today of our best findings that we've had on the topic. So the first one is that what the whole world wants is a good job. So in 2006, Gallup launched an initiative called the Gallup World Poll. We set out to systematically track in about 160 countries around the world the thoughts and feelings of every global citizen. So the way we did that was we built consistent sampling frames in all of those countries, and then we developed a questionnaire that tracks everything from well-being, so that's how you evaluate your life, to how you experience your life every day. We quantified the job environment, so we have do you have a great job, a good job, are you underemployed? What do you think about the economy? Do you think it's growing? Is it a good place to find a job? We also quantified institutions, infrastructure, so we ask about national government, confidence in the police force, and then access to basic needs like food and water and shelter and safety. So across all those countries, our biggest finding from there, and the one thing that kind of hangs together across all the countries, is that everybody wants a good job. It sort of marks a shift from where the world was maybe 30 years ago when you just wanted peace and safety. Now it's kind of flipped. So you can't have any of those things until you have a job, until you have a steady paycheck, you can feed your family, then you get married, then you have kids. So looking at quantifying good jobs, there are about 7 billion global citizens. About 5 billion of those are adults. When you ask them, 3 billion will tell you that they want a full-time job. What our research tells us is that there are 1.2 billion good jobs in the world. So there's a $1.7 billion gap there. So if you think about looking forward the next 30 years, we're at 60 trillion right now. Now, so to be kind of American-centric, not global-centric here, America's got about a quarter of GDP at 15 trillion. There's an incoming, according to most economists, there's an incoming 80 trillion. So in 30 years, we'll be at 140. America has to win that war for those incoming GDP, which is kind of like sales for the world. So the question is, how are you going to do that? What we found is that it's not innovation, but it's entrepreneurship where the answer lies. Now, I think globally, most leaders have put all their resources, time, and everything. They bet everything on the fact that it's innovation. And think about Saudi Arabia for a minute. They've got economic cities. They're building these research centers. They kind of think if they build the innovation, it will come. They've got the wrong premise. What they should be focusing on is entrepreneurship, because it's a spirit. You can kind of think of it, one good way that I like to think about it is it's the cart versus the horse. I think innovation is the cart. Entrepreneurship's the horse. If you don't have the horse, the cart just sits there. It really has no value. Innovation has no value until there's a customer standing next to that innovation. So we've got to have a shift to focus everything on that. So that's why I think Michael asked me to come here today, because this is a group full of entrepreneurs, and the mission and purpose of what everybody here is doing is so important, because it just goes beyond that individual business. It's everything for America. It's everything for the future, and it comes down to who wins. My third point is about how rare and valuable entrepreneurship is. From all of our research, and we've looked at this from successful entrepreneurs, it's about 3 out of 1,000. So they're kind of the person that has an incredible talent. It's only 3 in 1,000. So we've got to become very systematic about identifying them. America is the best in the world at intellectual development. From the time you're in kindergarten, you're being assessed for your intelligence. You're going into the honors classes. You're getting tracked toward the best colleges. We're the best at it, and it just tracks you right along to be a thought leader, an intellectual. Where we don't have any science is on identifying and developing entrepreneurs from a very young age. So if we really want to win this thing, we've got to start thinking about how we test for it, how we identify it, and how we get them exposed to those opportunities at a very young age. My fourth point, to kind of close it out, is where's the solution? We think that the solution isn't at the national level, it's at the very local level. You know, if you think of America, there's huge variation among cities. You know, there's ones that are booming with 5% unemployment and some of the best growth around. There are other cities in America that are flat out dying. They have reverse growth. People are migrating out because there's no job opportunities. So it really comes down to that local level. There are local leaders who love and deeply care about their city. And it's all about the spirit that I mentioned. So what systems are those cities putting in place to lift up the spirit and build the spirit and quantify it so they can have the right strategies? You know, as I mentioned, if you have the wrong premise as a leader, the more you lead, the more you make the place worse. So we've got to get very intentional about quantifying the spirit and building our strategies to fix that. And the other one is, just tying back to the GDP point I made, it's great if we figure out how to sell to each other here in America, but if we don't start thinking about exporting, you know, of that incoming 80 trillion, a lot of it's going to come in around the world globally. So all of our firms have to be thinking about how they can be exporting and orient themselves toward that incoming growth over the next 30 years. Thank you.